Welcome everyone to our Fundamentals of Technology series. This is our final workshop presented by the OnTech Computer Club at the University of Waterloo. Just a little bit of housekeeping for those watching, just to know that the video is being recorded. And also, if you have any questions, you can enter them into the chat, or feel free, if you are watching this video after the fact, to leave a message in the YouTube channel for the club, or to send myself or Sherry an email directly. Yeah, other than that, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our guest presenters today, Milan and Rashi, who will lead us the rest of the way.
Is everyone able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Milan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rashi.
And we are here on behalf of NTech to talk to you about smartphone basics. So this is just an overview of what we'll be talking about, but it's not an extensive list. So there's a lot of other things that you can do with your phone, but these are the most common things that people do. So first we'll talk about what is the difference between iOS and Android. And then for all of the other tools we'll be talking about, we'll say how to do them on an iOS device and then how to do them on an Android. So we'll show you how to create a password, set reminders, use the calendar, download apps from either the App Store on an iOS device or Google Play Store if it's an Android, use accessibility options, and we'll also talk about phone safety before we conclude with a question and answer session.
Before we get started, let's talk about what an operating system really is. So a mobile operating system is a software that allows smartphones such as tablets, PCs, and other devices to run applications and programs. An operating system typically starts up when a device is powered on. It presents a screen with icons and tiles that present information and provide access to do various things. The most two common operating systems that are commonly used in today's phones are iOS and Android. To start off with, iOS is owned by Apple and is only in Apple products such as iPhone, iPad, or iMac. You download apps from the App Store. For an Android phone, it's owned by Google, but it's in many different phones, such as Samsung, LG, Sony, and Google. And for this, you download apps from Google Play Store. So depending on what versions of an iOS or Android phone you have, your screen might look something different. For iPhone, let's start off with the screen. The first image on iPhone on the left is the newest version of iPhone that's available. It has icons and it might be slightly different than the all the older iPhone versions. As you can see on the rightmost screen, that's the older version and has a home button, which is currently most iPhones do not have. And Android, it's something similar. Each version of Android is different, and every screen might look different because they might have different apps in different order or a different wallpaper.
So now we'll be talking about how to create a password on an iPhone. So what we're going to start off with is the Settings app, which looks like a gear. It's a gray button. And from there, once you click on that, you're going to see a lot of different options coming up. But the one that we want to find is the one that says passcode. You see here that it says Face ID because if we go back to the other phones, as Rashi mentioned, a lot of the current phones don't have a home button. So you would be using Face ID as one option for your passcode. But on the older phones, they do have a home button. So that would be Touch ID. But either one, you want to find the one that says passcode because that's what we're looking for. And from there, you're going to see an area that says set passcode. And that just means that you're going to put in what your passcode is. And so from there, it's going to take you to this screen where there's going to be a bunch of different numbers. And that's one type of passcode that you can put, is using numbers. But as you can see with this arrow, there's also other options. For example, if you would prefer writing a word or using letters as your password, you can do that as well. And one important thing about the password is you really want to make sure and try your best to remember what your password is. And if you do write it down, make sure it's in a safe place, because it's really, really difficult to get into your device if you forget your password. So try your best to remember what it is and try and make it something that's meaningful to you so that it's easier to remember and it'll still keep your phone safe. So that's a really important thing, is to remember what your password is. And then coming to the Android device, if you have an Android, it's similar to the iPhone, where you have to find the gear. So that's the settings. And when you click on that, it'll take you to this page where, again, there's lots of different options, but the one that you want to find is the one that looks like a lock. So it's called lock screen and security because it's going to help keep your phone secure. And when you click on that, there's different types of passwords. So like the iPhone, there's the number password. You can also write a word if that's more meaningful to you. And on Android, there's also another option, which is pattern. So it's basically like a connect the dots, where you can draw a pattern and connect the dots in a certain way, and that could be your password. But again, similar to the iPhone, you really want to make sure that you remember what your password is, because it's really difficult to get in if you forget it. So try your best to make sure that it's something that you will remember, or it's something that is meaningful to you.
Next, I'm going to show you how to set a reminder on your iPhone. Before we get started, reminders are really helpful in day-to-day tasks, such as if you have an appointment that you want to be reminded of, if there's a certain you have to take every day, but you keep forgetting, so you can do that every day. And it could really be used to remind anything you want. So if you play the video, and we're gonna play a video now. It's okay if you don't catch everything at first, because we will be going through that after the video.
Hi, today I'm going to show you how to set a reminder on iPhone. You're going to start off by clicking the Reminders app on your phone. When you click on the Reminders app, your screen should look similar to this. To set a new reminder, click on New Reminder at the bottom left corner of your screen. Here you can set your reminder. You're going to start off by picking a title. It could be someone's appointment, doctor's appointment. It could be a reminder to take a pill every day. It could be someone's birthday. It could be anything. So here I'm going to choose NTech webinar. At the bottom, I can also write additional notes, such as, since this meeting is about phone basics, I'm going to write phone basics here. Below that, you can set specific details. Here, I'm going to choose a date. It could be from any month or any year. Here, I'm going to choose April 28th. And since I want to be reminded at a specific time, I'm going to choose a time here. And the time is going to be 1 p.m. I can also choose to repeat this reminder. It could be hourly, it could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be bi-weekly, it could be every 6 months, it could be yearly, it could be anything. So for example, if you have a pill that you want to be reminded that you want to take every day, you can choose daily. But since this is a one-time reminder, I'm going to choose never. I can also set a specific location reminder. So when you arrive at the location, your phone can automatically remind you. I can also choose setting a reminder when I'm messaging someone specific. So if I'm texting them, my phone can detect that and will remind me that reminder. But I'm going to turn that off for this reminder. I can also flag it. Flagging the reminder is considered important. So if it's an important reminder, you should flag it. I can also set it to a different priority. I can send it to low, medium, high, depending on what my reminder is. So for this, I'm going to choose medium. I can also add a different image from my photo library, or I can add a separate link to a website, but it's completely optional. To save this reminder, I'm going to click on Add at top right corner of the screen. This added the reminder to my Reminders app. To view this reminder, I can click on Flagged or All. And here it shows in Tech Webinar. And for example, if you're done with this reminder early, you can click on the circle here and it's going to end it. So if I go back and in, so it shows no reminders because I just canceled my reminder. And that's how you set reminders. Another shortcut is to go back to your home screen and hold on the app. It's going to show you this option. You can create a new reminder directly instead of going through the app, but whatever way is preferable, you should do it. Thank you.
So just to go over the video once again, to set a reminder, you first start off by going to the Reminders app from your home screen. After you click the app, your screen should look something like this. And to set a new reminder, you click on New Reminder at bottom left corner of your screen. When you click New Reminder, you can select the title of your reminder. So if it's someone's birthday, you can write this person's birthday. You can also edit notes. So if you want to add something to the reminder, you can type it up there. Under details, you can set a date, a specific date that you want to be reminded of, and a specific time. You can also set a location. So if you arrive at that location, your phone will automatically remind you. You can also choose the option when messaging. So if you're messaging someone, your phone can detect that and will remind you the reminder. You can flag the reminder if it's important, and you can set different priority levels if it's high, medium, and low, depending on what your reminder is. You can also add image or a link to a website, but that's completely optional. And to add the reminder, you click on Add at top right corner of your screen. To set a reminder on Android device, it's similar to adding an event to your calendar. So you're first going to start off by going to Google Calendar. From there, you can your screen would look something like this. And to add a new reminder, you click on the plus symbol or addition symbol at the bottom left corner of your bottom right corner of your screen. And from there, your screen would look something like this, where you can have the event name, the whatever you want to be reminded about. You can choose if you want it to be all day or you want a specific time. For example, since this meeting is from 1 to 2, I'm going to choose the time 1 to 2. I can also choose to repeat the reminder if I want it weekly, yearly, monthly, daily. I can also set additional reminders. For example, if I want to be reminded a day before the event or 15 minutes before the event, I can also set that. At the bottom, it shows you which which Gmail account this is linked to, since it's Google Calendar. So if you have that on your any other device, such as if you have your Gmail account open in your computer or an iPad, it's also going to remind you there. And under time zones, it can tell you which time zone you set the reminder to.
So now we're going to take a look at how to use the calendar on an iPhone. So I'm just going to play a short video, and again, no worries if you don't catch everything, because we'll go over the pictures after the video. As you can see here, this is my home screen. I'm just going to open up the calendar app. Here it is. We have the month of May. Let's say I have an event coming up on May 5th and I want to add that to my calendar. I'm just going to click on that day, so May 5th, and I'll click on the plus button in the top right corner. Now I'm going to name the event where it says title and the cursor is flashing. Let's say I want to name it NTech Webinar. So I'm going to type that in using the keyboard. Now I'm going to scroll down to where it says starts. This is where I'll set the start time of the event. So let's say it starts at 1 p.m. And now I'm going to scroll down to the end time and set that as well. Maybe 4 p.m. is when the event is going to end. Now that those times are set, I can set the event so that it repeats. This could be every week, every month, every year. Let's say this event is going to happen every week. So I'll click on every week. Finally, I can also set an alert so that I remember this event is going to happen. Let's say I want to set one 5 minutes before. So I'll go to alert, click on 5 minutes before, and there we go. I think I have all the information. So I'll go ahead and click on add. And now it's been added to the calendar. This purple area just shows how long the event is going to be. So from 1 to 4. And if I exit out and go to the main calendar where I was before, it's going to show a little dot every week when the event is. As you can see, okay, so just to go over what we talked about in the video, this is what the calendar will look like on an iPhone. And if you want to select a date, so like we selected May 5th, you would touch that number on the calendar, and then you would press the plus sign or the addition here. And once you click on that, you'll see this screen coming up where you can name the event, similar to on the Android device and similar to the reminders. You can also add a location if you want to be more specific. And since there's a certain start and end time for this event, I would just select that in my time for start and end time. And I can also set it to repeat. So that's just like the reminders as well, where it could be every day, every week, every month, depending on what the event is. And there's also a feature called end repeat. That just means that it only repeats for a certain amount of time. So let's say that this event is happening every week, but it's only going to happen for 3 weeks. So after those 3 weeks, the event wouldn't repeat anymore, it would stop. And then the alert down here is just like the reminders and just like the Android as well. You can set an alert so that your phone will give you an alert or a reminder that the event is going to happen. So for this event, I set it for 5 minutes before, but it could be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, however much of a time you'd like before the event is going to happen. And then when all of the information looks good, you just click on the add in the top right corner. And the way that you know it's been added to your calendar on an iPhone is it just has this tiny dot underneath that date.
So now I'm going to show you how to download an app from an app store. But before we get started, let's talk about what an app actually is. An app, which is short for application, is a type of program that can be downloaded and run on a computer and a smartphone. For example, a food delivery app might only be designed for users to get food from a local restaurant delivered. It can be used for anything else, such as grocery shopping or restaurant reservations. There are currently millions of apps designed to the specific things that are available in various categories, such as banking, emailing, gaming, and scheduling. Some apps come pre-downloaded, like the reminder and the camera. So now I'm going to play a video of how to download apps from an app store on an iOS phone. And don't catch everything, that's okay, because I will be going through this again after.
Now I'm going to show you how to download an app on your iPhone. You're going to first start off by clicking on App Store from your home screen. When you click on App Store, your screen should look something like this. At the bottom of the screen, as you can see, there are several options. First is Games. If you click on Games, it's going to show you several different options that you can scroll through. For example, if you're looking for a specific game or not, you can just scroll through here and see different options. If you want to look at different apps, then a good way is to click on apps in the middle bottom of the screen and look at different apps the App Store has to offer. You can also click on Arcade to download more games. And to search for a specific app, click on Search at the bottom right corner of your screen. Here, you have to click on the search bar and search for whatever app you're looking for. Here, I want to download a chess game, but I'm not really sure which chess game I should download. So here I'm going to write chess and press search. Here I can see several different options. The first option, as you can see, is something called Ultimate Cribbage. But as you can see, it's not the game I'm looking for. This is an ad. An ad is usually at top of the search result. And you can tell it's an ad because it has a blue block indicating that it's an ad. I want to scroll past that and see different options. So as you can see here, there are different chess I can download, but I want to choose chess with the highest rating. So the first one seems pretty good since it has 26,000 ratings. So I'm going to click on that. Here it's going to take me to a screen something like this. The game name is called Chess Play and Learn. At the bottom, I see a get options. If I want to download it, I can click on get and it's going to download on my phone. But before that, I want to learn a little bit more about this app. At the bottom, you can see there are 26,000 ratings, which 4.8 stars. It shows me that the age for this app is 4 and older. And if I go back, I can see what the screen looks like by scrolling through these images. If I scroll a little bit bottom, it's going to show me that more of the ratings. So here it says 4.8, and I can scroll here to see what other people have to say about this app. And now I decided that this is a good app for me to download. I'm going to press get, and it's going to download it on my phone screen. There are also several different apps that are paid. For example, this app, as you can see, since instead of get, it has a $10.99 fee. So if you want to download an app, you have to pay for this. Since there's so many ads, most of them are free, but some do require some sort of payment. So you have to be careful which apps you are downloading. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you how to download an app on your Now I'm going to show you how to download an app on Now I'm going to show you how
To summarize what was said in the video, to download an app from an app store, you're going to click on the app store icon from your home screen. Your screen should look something like this. So something like this. And at the bottom, there's several different options. There's games where you can scroll and see what different games there are. There are apps. So if you don't know what a specific app you're looking for and you just want to explore that, you can click on that and see which apps are trending and which are popular. If you're looking for a specific app, you should click search at bottom right corner of your screen. Your screen would look something like this. You just point it. Yeah, so your screen will look something like this. Here, there's a search bar where you can search for the app you're looking for. For example, here I'm searching for Facebook, so I'm going to type Facebook. And when I type Facebook, it's going to give me several different options. So I'm going to click search from my board. And when I click search, as you can see, the first app is not a Facebook because it's an ad. It's usually at top of your search result, and you know it's an ad because there's a blue box that indicates sort of that it's an ad. And at the bottom, that app is Facebook that I'm looking for. So if I click on it, it's show me a bunch of different options such as ratings, the age rating, and pictures of what the app might look like when you open it. And if I'm satisfied with everything and I want to get this app, I'm going to click on get, the blue box get, and it's going to start downloading it. And in a few minutes, I can open the app. And if there's a price instead of get there, like $10.99, $10.99, and as it was shown in the video, that means the app requires some sort of payment before you download it.
And just one more thing, in order to download an app, you're just going to need an Apple ID on an iOS device. So that's just the way that you can download these apps is through your Apple ID.
So downloading apps from Google Play Store, which is an Android. So if you have an Android device, you would have Play Store automatically in your phone. And to download apps from here, you click on Google Play Store. And when you click on this, it's going to take you to a screen something like this. Here you can, there's several different options. So you can explore at the bottom. There's games, apps, movies and TV, books. So you can explore if you're not sure what you're looking for. Just a side reminder that movie, TVs, and books do require payment. Most of them do, but most of the apps, such as Facebook or whatever you're looking for, are free. So just be mindful of that. And to search for an app, you click on the search bar at the top of your screen. Here you can search up whatever you're looking for, apps or games. So here I'm searching for chess. And when I type that out, I'm going to click on the search button from my keyboard. And when I click on that, as you can see, the first two options are add because it says add underneath it. So I'm going to avoid those and I'm going to go to the ones at the bottom and choose whichever app I'm fine with. So I'm going to here choose chess. And when I click on that, it's going to show me similar information as for Apple. So it's going to show me the ratings. So here it has 4.4 ratings out of 5, which is pretty good. It's going to also, additionally, it's also going to show me how many people have downloaded this. So here you can see it's a very popular app since 100 million people downloaded it. And to install this app, I'm going to click on the big green box that says install. If I scroll down, I can see images of what the game might look like at the bottom and a short video as well. If I scroll more down, I can see different ratings and reviews and what other people have to say about this game.
So now we're going to look at some of the accessibility options that are available on iPhone. And again, no worries if you don't catch everything because we'll be going over the screenshots after the video. Here is my home screen again. This time we are going to click on the settings button, which is shaped like a gear. Once we click on that, we are going to see a bunch of options coming up. The one we want to find is accessibility. It's a blue button with a person, so we will click on that. Now we are going to see lots of accessibility options that can make it easier to use your iPhone. For example, we have some tools for visual support, physical and motor, as well as hearing. First, let's take a look at the visual support tools. So we have a tool called VoiceOver. We can click on that to open it. Once it's open, we see that it has a lot of instructions. It basically says that you can use VoiceOver to say things that are on the screen. So it helps with text that you would rather hear out loud. There is also a speaking rate. At one end, there's a turtle, which means it's going to say it more slowly. And then at the other end is fast. And if you click on speech, and then you click on voice, you can change the type of voice as well as the accent. If you want to look at other accessibility options, we can just click the top left corner to go back to where we were before and see all the other tools. Next, we have Zoom, which we can open to see how that works. There's also some instructions here. It says that this tool can be used to magnify the entire screen, and there are certain ways to do this. For example, it says you have to double tap, which means tap the screen twice with 3 fingers. So if I tap on the slider to turn the zoom function on, you'll see that the screen gets much bigger. And in order to get out of this zoom, I have to tap the screen twice with 3 of my fingers, so I'll do that. Now, if I want to turn the zoom off, I just have to click on the slider again so that it turns from green back to gray. Now I can click on the top left corner again to go back to the other options. Next, we have magnifier, which I can open by clicking on that. Again, if I want to turn it on, I'll just click on the slider to make it green. It says that I have to click on the side button on my phone 3 times to use it, so I'll do that. Now I can use my camera to zoom in and out, so it's kind of like a magnifying glass or a camera lens that you can use to look at things closely. So I'll just swipe up and go back to my home screen and click on Settings again. Now I can turn this off by pressing the slider once again. And we can head back to our main menu to see the other options such as display text and size. There's different options here where you can make the text bold, you can make it larger. There's actually a feature that makes it easier to see whether you've turned one of these tools on or off using the slider. As I mentioned earlier, green means you've turned it on, like you can see here, and gray means off, so the other tools are off. And if you press this on-off labels, it will put a small symbol showing which side is on and which side is off. So if I turn it off, it's gone again. And now we can press back to look at the other options, such as physical and motor. For example, there's touch and assistive touch, which allows you to use your iPhone if you have difficulty touching the screen or if you require an adaptive accessory. There's also 3D and haptic touch. If we slide up and we go back to our home screen, I can press and hold on one of these icons, such as reminders, which we talked about earlier. And this is an easy way to add reminders or even delete an app if you want to do that. Now let's go back to settings and see the hearing options. For example, if you have a hearing device that has Bluetooth, you can connect that to your iPhone as well. And if we go back now again, there's also some audio and visual tools. So for example, you can change the balance between the left and right side of your phone in terms of volume. So if you want to make the left side louder than the right, you can use this slider to do that. And finally, if we go back to our main screen again, we see that there's also closed captioning and subtitles that can be used when that's available. Here is my home screen again, this time. Okay, so just to go over what we saw in the video. So as before, just like we did when we were creating a password, we have to click on the settings button, which looks just like this. It's like a gear. So once you open that settings, you're going to see lots of different options coming up. But for this case, you want to choose the accessibility option, which is highlighted here. It's a blue button and there's a person on it. So there's various tools that you can use. For example, there's visual support tools. So one of them is VoiceOver. Right now, VoiceOver is off, but like in the video, you saw that there is a slider, which if you touch that, it will turn on, and on means that the slider is going to be green. And once that's on, you can basically use that to hear the text on the screen. So instead of reading the text, if you prefer hearing it out loud, you can definitely use VoiceOver, and you can also have a different type of voice. So it doesn't just have to be one type. You can change how it sounds. And another visual support tool is Zoom, which, as you saw in the video, it makes the entire screen much larger. So if that makes it easier for you to see or read what's on the screen, you can definitely do that. And the instructions that are going to be on there when you open Zoom, they will just say that you have to double tap, which means tap on screen twice with 3 of your fingers. And that's just how you're going to use it, so that it's not always zoomed in. It's only zoomed in when you want it to be. And again, if you want to turn it off, you just have to click on that slider so that it goes back to gray. And next we have magnifier, which is kind of like Zoom, except it's not on your screen. It's like a magnifying glass or a special camera lens where you can use your camera to zoom in and out on objects. So let's say that you see something far away and you want to see it more closely, you can turn on this magnifier using that slider again to turn it on. And if you have, so for example, on my phone, I don't have the home button. So that's why it told me to press the side button 3 times. And the side button is just the button that you use to turn it on. So it's just the power button. And when you click on that 3 times, it will turn on the magnifier. And like you saw in the video, I can use that sliding button on the bottom to zoom in and out on things. So yeah, it's just like kind of like a telescope or a magnifying glass that lets you see objects that are out there. And there's also display text and size, where if you want to make the text on your screen bold or you want to make it larger, you can definitely do that using this display text and size. And it also has that on off labels, which just means that when you're using those sliders to turn all these tools off, but maybe you're not sure about the color, like is green on, it will put like a little symbol on which side is on and which side is off, if that makes it easier for you to see as well. And we also have some physical and motor tools such as touch. So there was assistive touch, which you can turn on as well. And there's also the 3D and haptic touch, which basically means, like you saw in the reminders video, as well as this video for accessibility, that you can just press and hold on any of the apps. And that will give you some options to open things in the app quickly without trying to open the full app and trying to scroll through. So it depends on which app it is. There's different things that it will show you in those options, but it's also a way to delete the app. So if you press and hold on the app and you want to get rid of it, that's one way to do that as well. And finally, there's also hearing support options. So if you have a hearing device that has Bluetooth, you are able to connect it to your iPhone. There's also audio and visual. So you can change the balance between the left and right side of your phone in terms of volume. And finally, if the subtitles are available, let's say on a video or any sort of media, then you can definitely turn that on and they will become available as well. And similar to iPhone, there's also accessibility options on Android. So let's start off with the visual. There's something called TalkBack, which is kind of like the voiceover on iPhone. So it basically will speak what's on the screen. There's also message and call voice notifications, which is something that's a little different. So it will read out the caller info. So let's say the name of the person or their phone number, and it will also read your messages out loud. So let's say someone sent you a message that says, "Hi, how are you doing?" If you have this turned on, like if you press the slider and turned it on, that would be read out loud to you. And also similar to iPhone, there is display size, so you can make the text on your screen larger so that it's easier for you to read. This touch zoom is just like the zoom on the iPhone, where you zoom in and out by tapping on the screen. And then there's also window zoom. So in a certain window, so for example, this screen right here is a window. It's basically just what you're looking at that time. So you can zoom in and out of there as well. Next, we have hearing options. So just like iPhone, they have captions. So you can show closed captions and subtitles if you're watching a video and you'd like that as well. There's also this neat thing called flash alert. So basically, let's say you aren't able to hear an incoming call or a text message just showed up or you had an alarm set, it will blink to show you that that's coming in just in case you aren't able to hear it. There's also mute all sounds, which just, as the name implies, it's just basically muting. And this sound balance is just like on the iPhone, where you can change the sound balance from left to right. And finally, there's motor and cognition, which is just like the physical and motor on the iPhone. So there's a touch assistant, which it actually should show up on the iPhone as well. It's just like a little app that will come up on your home screen. And when you click on it, and that you would have to set up in a customized way. So let's say you want to have certain shortcuts to things, like when you press on this touch assistant, it opens a certain app that you want, like text message. So it will do that. There's also, you can customize your keyboard and touch and hold for calls, so you can answer or decline calls without swiping.
So now I'm going to show how to set different brightness on your iPhone. So first, you're going to go to your home screen, which looks something like on the left side of the left image. From here, you're going to slide your thumb across from the top right corner of your screen to the middle of the screen. It's going to show options such as shown in the second image. Here, to set the brightness, you're gonna hold on this under the red circle, and you're gonna hold it for about 2-3 seconds, and this is gonna um, show you on the third more screen where you get different brightness. All you have to do is slide your thumb across depending on how bright you want your screen. There's also several different options such as dark mode underneath that. So if you go on the next slide. So here there's different options on your to set different brightness. So an original image I put on the left side of the screen just as a reference. The dark mode, what dark mode does is it turns your light into dark and your dark into light. So all the white will become black and the black text would become white. So this is if you think the white's too much and it's bothering your eyes, you can set it to dark mode. There's also night shift mode, which is most useful at night, where what it does, it cuts out all the blue light and it makes your screen a bit orange, which at night is really easy on your eyes. There's also true tone, which basically mutes all the sharp lights. So if the white is too bright for you, but you don't want an orange hue to your phone, what you do is turn the true tone on and it would just mute all the colors. So for brightness for Android, what you would do is instead of for iPhone, you have to do from the top right corner to the middle of the screen. Here, you would do the top of the screen to the middle of the screen. It's going to show some options as shown in the second image. Here, there's a slider for your brightness. So if you want your phone to be more brighter, you can slide it further, or if you want it to be bright, you can slide it a bit backwards. And for additional options, you can once more slide your thumb from the top of the screen to the middle of the screen. It's going to show you more options, such as in the rightmost image, you would see there's comfort view, which what it does is if it's at night and you're reading something and you want it to be a little easier on your eyes, it's going to give
Huh.
Rashi's a little frozen there.
Yeah,
like
I
it-
thought so as well.
Looks like we might have a problem there.
It's moving now.
Her Wi-Fi
Sorry,
was earlier.
Hey, she's back.
Oh, yay!
sorry. So where was I?
You're talking about the comfort view.
So comfort view is basically if you wanna, what it does, it gives your phone an orangish hue. So if you're at night and you think this is too bright eyes and you're reading for a longer periods of time, you can turn the comfort view on and you can easily read it without hurting your eyes.
So now we're going to talk a bit about basic phone safety, and internal just means on your phone. So one thing that you want to be aware of is a suspicious text. So these are some real life examples where you might be told that someone sent you a certain amount of money, like in these two examples, or that your Scotiabank has a certain code for security. And these are suspicious because, first of all, you want to think, do you even have a Scotiabank card? And even if you do, you want to think about whether you were even expecting this. So it's really suspicious if someone sends you a link saying that they are giving you money because, you know, normally money is not sent via text. So that's something suspicious. And also, just like was discussed during the web browser webinar, that you want to be sure that when you get messages about emails, that is that something that you were expecting? And does the link look like it's something that's real or a scam? Especially if it says that you are going to win something or you're going to get something, that's something that you really need to be careful of. And so these are both similar examples of that. So you really want to be careful. If it says something about money, please don't open it. And if it says something that you're going to win something, please don't click on any of those links as well. So that brings us to the dangerous websites as well. So you don't want to click on any of these links where it tells you to click on this, you'll win something. Those are just scams. And there's also dangerous websites like was discussed during the web browsing webinar that because your smartphone has the capability to search things, you also want to use those same skills that you learned during web browsing. You want to apply those to your smartphone as well, because you can search the internet on it. So you want to be careful and make sure that you don't click on any links and you don't search up websites that could potentially create a virus on your device. And there's also some fake apps. So when Rashi was talking about the apps, you could see that based on the ratings and based on how many people have downloaded it, that could be one indication that it is a legit app. You can also read the reviews. A lot of people, if they're really nice, then they'll leave a review saying like, please don't download this, it's not real. And a lot of the times the real apps will have some sort of verification on it. Like Facebook, for example, it will say that it's by the actual Facebook company. So if you see that the company or the person who designed the app doesn't seem like trustworthy, or that people have left reviews saying that it's not real, then please don't download those apps as well.
So now we're going to talk about phone safety, but externally. So first of all, you don't want to be charging your phone for too long. So if you can, just avoid charging it overnight, because what it does, it ruins your battery life. For example, if today your phone's working at 8 hours without charging, in a few weeks it might go down to 7 hours if you keep overcharging it. Also, it would ruin your batteries. So your phone would, instead of lasting 3 years, it would only last 2 years maybe. You also don't want to sleep with your phone. Your phone can emits really harmful rays that could that could damage your brain for long term. So it's really important to keep your phone a bit farther away instead of in your night table. To protect your phone, it's important to get a phone case. It could be any phone case, and what it does, it protects the back and your body of your phone. But if you want to protect your screen tracking, it's really important to get a screen protector as well, where if you drop your phone accidentally, it won't break or crack very easily.
So thank you so much for listening to our presentation. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact us at NTech at Home. So we have a phone number, which is shown here on the screen, as well as an online form that you can fill out, and we would be more than happy to assist you. So basically the steps are you can either go to this link or call this phone number, and depending on whether you called or you filled out the form, you can either leave a voicemail or fill out the form, and we will get back to you within 2 business days. And once you are connected with a volunteer, they would be more than happy to help you with whatever issue you're having. And so thank you so much for listening.
Wow, that's so excellent. Thank you both so much. I always find it amazing watching these. I mean, even though I feel like I have a fair amount of tech savvy, but watching you guys do a thorough presentation, I always learn some additional tips and tricks. So thank you both so much. And thank you to your club who have been really amazing for us for the past few months. You know, this is our final session, but I know that a lot of people have really benefited from what you guys have been showing, and hopefully people will feel free to reach out to you one-on-one if they require further support. So once again, thank you so much. And that's it, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day.